I want to speak to you today not as a doctor in a white coat, not as someone who spent decades in operating rooms, but as a fellow American who has witnessed far too many good people lose their independence and their health because of one preventable habit. I have looked into the eyes of seniors who came into surgery hoping for another chance to see their grandchildren grow up, to take that cross-country trip they'd been planning, to simply wake up each morning without pain or fear. I have also sat with families in waiting rooms at 2 a.m, praying their loved one would make it through the night. Some did, some didn't, and that reality haunts me every single day. I became a heart surgeon because I believed then, and I still believe now, that the human heart is the most remarkable engine ever created. Think about what your heart has done for you. From the moment you took your first breath as a baby, that heart has been beating without rest. It has never asked for a day off. It has never complained about working overtime. For 60, 70, 80 years or more, it has pumped blood through your body, carrying oxygen to every cell, keeping you alive through childhood scraped knees, teenage heartbreak, your working years, raising families, serving your country, building businesses, helping neighbors. Your heart has been there through America's greatest triumphs and darkest hours, through wars and peace, through economic struggles and prosperity. But as strong as the heart is, it can be damaged by habits we barely think about, choices we make every day without realizing the consequences. Over my career, I've seen too many proud Americans over 60 end up on my operating table when they didn't need to be there. These were people who did everything right in so many ways. They worked hard, sometimes multiple jobs to provide for their families. They raised children with strong values. They served in the military or supported those who did. They built the businesses that employed their neighbors. They volunteered at churches, coached youth sports, helped elderly neighbors with yard work. They were the backbone of this great nation, the generation that built the strongest, most prosperous country in human history. But somewhere along the way, they developed one dangerous habit that slowly, silently stole their health and their freedom. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, "Doc, we've worked hard our whole lives. Can't we just enjoy ourselves now? Can't we eat what we want without worrying about every little thing?" I understand that completely. I'm not here to take away your enjoyment of life. I'm here because I want you to live more, not less. I want you to have the energy to travel, to fish, to play with grandchildren, to attend ball games and stand proudly during the national anthem. I want you to maintain your independence and dignity. But I've learned from years of operating on damaged hearts that ignoring certain warning signs will steal that freedom faster than anything else. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Frank. He was 74, a Korean War veteran, proud of his service and his country. Frank was the kind of man who never missed a Veterans Day parade and taught his grandchildren to respect the flag. But Frank also ignored his doctor's warnings about his blood pressure. He figured he felt fine most days, so why worry? He loved his convenience foods, his canned soups, his deli sandwiches, because they were easy and tasted good. One morning, Frank woke up with crushing chest pain. His wife called for help. When I opened his chest in surgery, I saw arteries so clogged and damaged that even our best efforts couldn't fully restore what had been lost over the years. Frank survived, but he was never the same. He lost his energy, his ability to do the things he loved, all because he ignored one habit he thought was harmless. This story has played out thousands of times in my career across every community in America. Seniors who should be enjoying retirement instead find themselves going from doctor to doctor, hospital to hospital. They lose their ability to drive, to walk without assistance, to work in their gardens, to lift their grandchildren, not because they were weak, but because they ignored one preventable habit for too long. The habit I'm begging you to stop is consuming excessive amounts of salt or sodium in your daily diet. I know that sounds simple, almost too simple to be dangerous. Salt is just tiny white crystals, right? How could something so ordinary be threatening your life? But once salt enters your body, the story changes completely. The average American consumes about 400 milligrams of sodium every day. The recommended limit for seniors is 1,500 milligrams. That means most people are getting more than double what their body can safely handle. Every extra grain puts pressure on your heart, your arteries, your kidneys. Over time, it's like slowly tightening a vise around your cardiovascular system. Salt's job in your body is to attract and hold water. When you eat too much salt, your body retains extra fluid in your bloodstream. Imagine your blood vessels as garden hoses designed to carry a normal amount of water. When salt forces your body to retain extra fluid, those vessels become overfilled. They stretch, swell, and the pressure inside rises dramatically. That's high blood pressure, one of the deadliest conditions a senior can develop. Your heart was built to pump against normal resistance, but when your blood is overloaded with salt and fluid, your heart works overtime. It beats harder more frequently without rest, like asking a worker to lift heavy loads every minute of every day without breaks. Eventually, that heart muscle wears out. The damage spreads beyond your heart. High pressure tears tiny injuries in your artery walls. Your body rushes cholesterol and other substances to patch these tears, creating plaque buildup. This narrows your arteries, setting the stage for heart attacks and strokes. The same pressure damages delicate blood vessels in your brain and kidneys, leading to memory problems and kidney failure. Here's what makes this so dangerous: you usually don't feel it happening. High blood pressure is called the silent killer because it rarely causes obvious symptoms until it's too late. You don't wake up with headaches telling you your pressure is high. You don't feel your arteries hardening. It's invisible until the day it explodes into a medical emergency. The worst part: most of the salt you consume isn't from the shaker on your table. It's hidden in foods you'd never suspect. That innocent can of soup contains nearly your entire daily sodium limit. A deli sandwich can have more salt than a bag of chips. Even bread, which doesn't taste salty, contributes hundreds of milligrams per day to your intake. Food manufacturers load their products with salt because it's cheap, preserves food, and makes bland ingredients taste better. They know salt is addictive. It triggers pleasure centers in your brain, making you crave more. That's why you can't eat just one potato chip or stop at one slice of pizza. Processed foods are the biggest culprits: canned soups, frozen dinners, packaged snacks, boxed meals. If it comes in packaging, it's probably loaded with sodium. A single frozen dinner marketed as healthy can contain over 2,000 milligrams of sodium. That's more than your entire daily limit in one meal. Deli meats and processed meats are salt bombs. Ham, bacon, sausage, turkey slices from the deli counter. These foods are cured with massive amounts of sodium. A few slices on a sandwich can contain as much salt as a large bag of pretzels. Restaurant meals are another major source. Even when you order something that sounds healthy, like grilled chicken salad, the dressing, croutons, and cheese can push your sodium intake through the roof. Restaurants use salt heavily because it's the easiest way to make food taste good to the most people. Condiments and sauces are sneaky sources too. Ketchup, soy sauce, salad dressings, barbecue sauce. A tablespoon of soy sauce contains nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Most people use several tablespoons without thinking. Even foods marketed as healthy options can be problematic. When manufacturers remove fat from products, they often add extra salt to maintain flavor. Those heart-healthy frozen meals might be sabotaging your cardiovascular system. The solution isn't to eliminate all flavor from your food. You need practical alternatives that you can stick with long term. Start by reading labels and choosing no salt added or low sodium versions when available. They usually cost the same and can dramatically reduce your intake. For canned foods, look for no salt added options, or rinse regular canned beans and vegetables under cold water to wash away about half the sodium. Make large batches of homemade soup on weekends and freeze individual portions. You control the ingredients and can season with herbs instead of salt. Replace processed deli meats with fresh, cooked chicken, turkey, or lean beef that you slice yourself. Cook several pieces at once and store them for easy sandwich making throughout the week. When you want smoky flavors, use smoked paprika or liquid smoke instead of bacon or sausage. Herbs and spices become your best friends in this process. Garlic, onion powder, paprika, cumin, oregano, thyme, rosemary, black pepper, red pepper flakes. These add incredible flavor without any sodium. A roasted chicken with rosemary and lemon tastes far better than one that's simply salted. For salad dressings, make simple vinaigrettes with balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and herbs instead of using bottled dressings loaded with sodium. Fresh salsa can replace ketchup. Use mustard sparingly or choose low-sodium varieties. Replace salty snacks with unsalted nuts, fresh fruit, or air pop popcorn. Plain popcorn with garlic powder and paprika satisfies cravings for something crunchy without any sodium. For breakfast, choose steel, cut oats, or old-fashioned oatmeal instead of processed cereals that may contain hidden sodium. top with fresh fruit, nuts, and cinnamon for natural sweetness and flavor. When eating at restaurants, ask if your food can be prepared without added salt. Most kitchens can accommodate this request. Choose grilled, baked, or steamed dishes over fried ones. Ask for sauces and dressings on the side so you control how much you use. Your taste buds will adapt to lower sodium levels, but it takes time. The first few weeks might feel like food is bland, but if you stick with it, within a month your palate will reset. You'll start noticing natural flavors you never appreciated before. Fresh vegetables will taste sweet. Grilled fish will seem rich and satisfying. When you accidentally taste something heavily salted, it will seem overwhelming. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. If you can swap 3 or 4 high-sodium foods for healthier alternatives, you'll eliminate thousands of milligrams from your weekly intake. That's enough to significantly lower blood pressure and reduce strain on your heart. The benefits extend beyond your cardiovascular system. Reducing sodium can boost energy levels, improve kidney function, enhance brain clarity, and help you sleep better. Instead of feeling bloated and sluggish after meals, you'll feel satisfied and energized. I know changing lifelong habits is challenging. Salt is genuinely addictive. Your brain releases pleasure chemicals when you eat salty foods, making you crave more. Many seniors grew up when salt consumption wasn't considered dangerous. Canned soups, TV dinners, and processed foods were staples of American kitchens in the 50s and 60s. You weren't warned about hidden sodium, so it became normal. Food also carries emotional meaning. Maybe your grandchildren expect your mac and cheese to taste exactly like it always has. Maybe your weekly barbecue with neighbors revolves around perfectly seasoned ribs. Changing these traditions feels like losing part of your identity. But you have advantages in making this change. You've lived long enough to understand the value of patience and persistence. You've survived challenges that would have broken people with less experience. You know how to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term benefit. That wisdom and resilience will help you succeed. Start gradually rather than making dramatic overnight changes. If you normally add salt while cooking and at the table, eliminate just one of those steps. After a week, reduce the amount you use while cooking by half. Your taste buds will adjust slowly without feeling deprived. Focus on substitution rather than elimination. Your brain craves flavor and satisfaction, but it doesn't specifically need sodium. When you incorporate herbs, spices, garlic, lemon, and vinegar, your meals can become more delicious than when you relied on salt. Give yourself credit for every improvement. When you choose fresh turkey over deli meat, recognize that you just helped your cardiovascular system. When you make homemade soup instead of opening a can, celebrate saving yourself hundreds of milligrams of sodium. Frame these choices as victories rather than restrictions. Get support from family and friends. Tell them why you're making changes and ask for their help. When dietary changes become a team effort, success becomes much more likely. Many families transform their eating habits when one member takes charge of their health. Work with your doctor to monitor your progress. Track your blood pressure, kidney function, and other health markers as you reduce sodium. Seeing concrete improvements provides powerful motivation to continue. Plan ahead to overcome the convenience factor. Spend time each week preparing healthy meals and snacks you can store in your refrigerator or freezer. When you have low sodium options readily available, you're less likely to reach for processed foods when you're hungry and pressed for time. Remember that you've overcome bigger challenges than this. You may have quit smoking, stopped drinking, survived serious illnesses, or rebuilt your life after major setbacks. Compared to those experiences, learning to enjoy food with less salt is absolutely manageable. The reward for breaking free from excess salt is enormous. We're talking about maintaining your independence well into your 80s and 90s. Having energy to travel, play with grandchildren, pursue hobbies that bring joy. Waking up each morning without worrying about your body letting you down. The peace of mind that comes from taking control of your health. Your heart has served you faithfully for decades. It has beaten billions of times without complaint, carrying you through every experience of your life. Every scar on that heart tells a story about the life it has supported. Too often, I see preventable scars from excess salt consumption, arteries narrowed and hardened when they didn't need to be. I've also seen the other side, patients who made changes and enjoyed 10, 15, even 20 additional healthy years. The difference often comes down to this one habit: I've watched seniors bounce back from the brink of heart failure simply by taking control of their sodium intake. Let me share the story of Robert, an 80-year-old veteran who came to me after a mild stroke. His daily diet included nearly 5,000 milligrams of sodium from canned beans, fast food, and frozen pizza. He was terrified and his wife was devastated. We worked together to gradually reduce his intake. He learned to cook beans at home, chose grilled chicken over burgers, and made fresh pizza with minimal cheese. Within 3 months, his blood pressure dropped 20 points. Within 6 months, he had more energy than he'd felt in years. Robert told me he didn't just get his health back, he got his life back. That's the power of taking control. It's not about restriction or punishment. It's about freedom. Freedom from fatigue, from disease, from fear. When you choose to reduce salt, you're choosing a better future where you remain in control of your health, rather than letting salt control you. Science shows that even seniors in their 70s and 80s can dramatically improve their health by cutting back on salt. Your blood pressure can come down, your heart can beat more efficiently, your kidneys can function better, your brain can stay sharper. It's never too late to write a new chapter in your health story. Every meal is an opportunity to support your health or undermine it. Every grocery shopping trip is a chance to choose foods that nourish rather than overwhelm your body with sodium. Every restaurant visit is an opportunity to make requests that protect your cardiovascular system. This is your roadmap to better health. Start with awareness by reading labels and tracking your sodium intake for a few days. Make one simple swap, like choosing fresh over processed foods. Experiment with herbs and spices to maintain flavor. Be patient as your taste buds adjust. Celebrate every improvement, no matter how small. The most important message I can give you is this: it's not too late. Your body is remarkably resilient and forgiving. When you reduce sodium intake, improvements can begin within weeks. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your arteries can relax and function more efficiently. You can reclaim years of healthy, independent living. But knowledge without action is just information. The transformation happens when you apply what you've learned to your daily choices. Your heart has been faithfully serving you for decades without complaint. Don't you think it's earned some protection now? You can continue eating the same way and hoping medications will protect you from heart attacks and strokes. Or you can take control, make meaningful changes, and give yourself the best chance of enjoying many more healthy years. The choice is yours. You can let this habit continue stealing your health, or you can fight back. Your heart is begging for relief. Your family wants you around for many more years. Your future self is waiting to thank you for the decision you make today. This is about more than just food. This is about independence, dignity, and the freedom to enjoy the retirement you've earned. This is about being there for graduations, weddings, and the birth of great-grandchildren. This is about waking up each morning with energy and purpose rather than fear and limitation. You have the knowledge, you have the power, you have the strength that comes from decades of facing challenges and overcoming them. All that remains is the decision to act. Your heart has carried you this far. Now it's time to carry it forward into many more healthy, happy years. The power to change your future is literally in your hands, in the choices you make at every meal. Use that power. Take control. Choose health. Choose life. Choose the people who love you and need you to be around for many years to come. Your heart is waiting. Your family is waiting. Your best years may still be ahead of you, but only if you make the right choice today.